It's 1:20 p.m. And this is exactly what FedEx is facilitating, state surveillance in concert with LAPD, who's stalking in helicopter at 1:21 p.m. flying over my office, creating sensational activity and audible activity. FedEx is utilizing what is a logo to engage in what is criminal presence under the guise of delivering a package or being on the property for any purpose whatsoever is criminal. But again, using the logos, the people of the state engage in the malicious pattern of conduct by appearing to, on the surface, engage in something related to whatever service that they're providing. Okay, so group stalking under the guise of delivering packages, looking for a third-party group stalker's address, for example. They are present in the path vicariously on behalf of LAPD, who you hear stalking in a helicopter at 1:21 p.m. And that's exactly what Precious Bastillos is engaging in when she's crossing paths with a group of children, engaging in that pattern of conduct intentionally and knowingly, while also posing an impermissible threat and engaging in what is Title 18 criminal conduct. They're all monitoring, including FedEx, in violation of Title 18. This is a company engaging in what is federal stalking in concert with that state that's flying over by helicopter. This is all occurring in the workplace. So this is the prosecution of Todd Speaker as well. This is all happening on Speaker Companies Inc.'s watch. Todd Speaker, this is again 1:15 p.m. Again, while they're documenting what I'm doing on the computer, seeking to engage in what is, it's 1:22 p.m. Seeking to engage in what is harassment, wanting to be an obstacle to my ability to complete my job. So let me point something out. While I am writing down 1:15, they just flew over moments ago, because I want you to understand, first of all, third-party group stalkers working for speaker companies are going to federal prison. And second of all, I'm also going to civilly and criminally prosecute speaker companies itself, because I'm going to drain the pockets of this company for being subject to workplace terrorism and harassment. This is the intent to present an obstacle, a great obstacle, by the way, to do your job, where you have a right to not be subject to the pattern of conduct, where they are witnessing me proceed with my job, looking for documents. I'm getting ready to, and the people of the state are also monitoring, again, doing the same thing, not following simple directions. And I'm just giving you minor examples of what is the pettiness of an entity that's placing you under surveillance. And then again, failing to note anything that they're stating with regard to your job performance. While they are the ones who are monitoring you, they're the ones who are presenting the obstacle to your ability to do it. They are the ones that are engaging in what is terrorizing you and psychologically torturing you, and then seeking to be more of an obstacle and engage in more harassment and terrorism while the pattern of conduct is underway, while they also want to stop you from all I'm doing is proceeding with doing the rest of my job for the day. Immediately the entity starts sounding helicopter as I start doing that. So I just want to point that out. Again, it's an exercise of fictitious authority, where the state is group stalking under the guise of what is a workplace. You don't have any authority. Any release from your job is unlawful release from employment. The government does not have a right to keep you under surveillance at your job. The government doesn't have any warrant or probable cause. There's no constitutional basis. The government is engaging in what is malicious presence through those who are operating present, engaged in the criminal elements of monitoring under the guise of some company name, where state terrorism is underway. You do not have any right or legitimate grounds to release from employment. Any and everything that you say is going to be used against you, because you're going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted, and you're going to federal prison. So I just want to point all these facts out. This is what they're doing while they want to engage in more of the pattern of conduct, just to be an obstacle to my ability to do my job and prosecute the state. I want to make sure that you understand, with regard to the ordinary targeted individual, the entity that's engaging in the state system, and it is occurring in the workplace, because the entity is not taking a break from where the targeted individual is going, where they work, where they are sleeping, wherever it is that they live, where they're visiting, where they worship, where they shop, where they eat. They're being subject to the state's pattern of conduct, and everyone around them is a state and or third party in a facilitating venue which follows the targeted individual, and is also the revelation of what is demonic activity that is pursuing them, keeping them under surveillance. And these are real people. These are people in the government, i.e. the LAPD, who is for, again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For the 11th time today, flying over my office, flying in relevant position, amplifying helicopter activity, and that is since 1:50 in the morning, where you are understanding the engineered light. Precious Bastillos is going to lose custody of her children, and there is no basis, based on the evidence that's going to be presented to her, with regard to the threat that she is to American citizens and the threat that she poses to those children whom you see she's including in that criminal system with a corrupt police department. I mean, this is terrorism that she is participating in, that she is making children a part of, and she's threatening the life of another, and she's also doing it knowingly in violation of Title 18, 22618 subsections 1 and 2. And that analysis goes for every third-party group stalker living at the property and live with minor children and including minor children. And by the way, when you're living at the crime scene, you are including minor children in the pattern of conduct. It is currently 1:26 p.m. I'm going to sue civilly Todd Speaker and Speaker companies. And I also want to be clear, let me point something out. Todd Speaker was actually engaged in the pattern of conduct while he was at Palo Alto corporate office while I was there, subject to the pattern of conduct in Northern California. This was in December of 2023, where this same entity was engaged in group stalking when I was in Northern California. And the entity was maintaining the specific environment because while the sun is rising and setting here at Alvarado Gardens, there's not going to be any sunlight over the vehicle. There's not going to be any sunlight over all of the restaurant. We went to the restaurants. We went and had a long drawn. I took pictures with those third parties. They're going to federal prison. That was documentation, including Todd Speaker. But that day we were also engaged in the so-called business of speaker companies. That's the systematic means of engaging in the pattern of conduct. And Todd Speaker himself is a proponent for, a candidate for federal prison. He is always at that corporate office engaging in what is the so-called business of the company, also on the video of the internet via emails, which is also documented. So I just want to be clear, his name is not only grounds for civil and criminal prosecution of his company and his real property, but he himself, and again, irrespective of how old he is, because this is an aged third-party group stalker who is going to be prosecuted. The only one that I did not document personally is his wife. Okay, it is currently 1:27 p.m. and this is P.O.C. This is relevant to the workplace where the pattern of conduct is underway and where that entity has absolutely zero legitimacy, not only in the courts, but also in the workplace. You don't have any legitimacy. The entity that is engaging in stalking and keeping you under surveillance and monitoring you online is then engaging in what is being an obstacle to your ability to do your job. And even as I do that, the entity is engaging in more of the pattern of conduct just because of the fact that I am doing my job. All right, and that's legally relevant. And I'm going to prosecute everybody. And everybody, but as far as speaker companies, but they're going to federal prison. Period. P.O.C.